Om Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Param Vishwaro Meti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomabda Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Tava Vedanta Sedanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satguru Natosh Maham Om Shanti 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 Om Shwar. So, verse 29, 4. Uniformly see the Lord who dwells everywhere alive. So, she does not commit spiritual suicide. If we don't decline spiritually, if we don't waste another birth without knowing, we are wasting an opportunity. If we develop this darshan, this vision, the promise here is thereby the person attains the supreme goal. The jiva attains the supreme goal. So we have the situation how to develop this darshan, this vision uniformly. Uniformly is a very important word because it means indiscriminately. Everything is the Lord. Everything is the supreme Lord. And we have more easily we are able to accept good things, things that we appreciate as the Lord, but we have difficulty to appreciate things that are challenging. Receiving it as the grace of the Lord, as we know. Now we need to develop that kind of wisdom to take everything as a gift coming from the Lord. Everything. Uniformly means whatsoever the situation, whatsoever the people, the things, the event, I see the Lord and the Lord alone. So this is someone who is intoxicated with the Lord. This is a toxin. The devotees, they often present this thing here and there, they are intoxicated with the love for the Lord. And they got in contact with the Lord. They developed this vision of the Lord. And then when they see, they are in that kind of trance, that kind of intoxication. And then, and then people believe that the devotee went mad. I think I shared with you in the past that I started the life Meher Baba, a guru, a beautiful soul from what I learned. And he, in his own process, his teaching was serving the poor, serving the ones in need, helping. And all his disciples had to do the same thing. He was the guru, and his teaching was, you need to serve. You need to serve. Just imagine that. He just believed so much in the guru. The guru says, no, you need to serve. Look at me, I'm serving everything and everyone. And if you do that, you're going to attain the supreme goal. And then they were following the Meher Baba. And toward the end of his life, he did a huge project. He went barefoot all over India, rescuing all these souls that were intoxicated because they developed this connection with this vision, with the Lord. The Lord is such a source of ananda, of joy, of howsoever we put it. And the more you tap into it, more you get that kind of intoxication. And then it's very easy for people to confuse and think that the person went mad. And literally, these were people that were told, were said to be mad people. I mean, it's not only in the life of Meher Baba, but here in the culture of India, you have this concept of people who are taken to be mad because they they literally they lost their mind and heart to the Lord. So going around India and rescuing those souls that were totally surrendered to the Lord, neglecting their body, neglecting everything. Some of them were taken to madhouse. And Meher Baba used to rescue one by one and take to a place he create in his ashram there, near Pune, in Pune. No? And there he used to take care of these people, wash them, and his disciple had to wash. He said, "No, Jesus is a great soul. Just serve this soul, serve this soul." So this is the intoxication. And if the person has developed this vision, the person is not going to commit spiritual suicide. He's not going to destroy self by itself, by himself or herself. And the person thinks. We're going to see here the Swami unfolding this beautiful concept that Shankaracharya presents on two levels. The way the jiva commits spiritual suicidal, you know, by how you gonna kill, you know, how can you kill your true nature? You cannot kill. And then he's going to present the concept that you can analyze this in two ways. You you destroy your inferior nature, just be totally oriented towards sense pleasure and breaking the dharma right and left. So you destroy the potential inherent in your human nature, in your inferior nature. You destroy the potential. uh, and then he's going to present as well that from the higher angle, you know, you destroy, you kill, you ruin your superior nature. Although the self, the Atma, cannot be affected by anything, but it is as if you destroy your supreme nature. Well, how so? By neglecting it completely. If you neglect it completely, although you cannot affect it, but it is as bad as having killed your superior nature. Well, and then we can easily understand that from that angle. You know, we see so many jivas uh, neglecting the true supreme superior nature by rejecting, denying it, and making fun of it, and so on. As a result, they kind of commit a spiritual suicide as well. By turning their backs to their supreme nature, they will quote unquote destroy its superior nature. You know? I think it's easily understood that, you know? This is a topic that I enjoy talking about because it is uh, we seen the picture that I like to to work within. As we have two options in life, you know, it's elevate ourselves by bring forth more and more our divine nature, or we can decline ourselves by bring forth more and more our animal nature. You know. So, and we, more often than not, we we don't we don't come to this world with any vision such as the purpose of my life is to elevate myself spiritually, is to bring forth my supreme nature, well, my supreme self. uh, So nobody has that thought in mind. But some people come with that thought in the causal body. And then later on it comes may come to the mind, the conscious mind, and then the person understands that his ultimate purushata, which is the supreme and the real purpose of all human births, which is to elevate oneself, developing one's divinity in spite of these hardwired animal tendencies. So we have these two principles, Purusha and Prakriti. Swami is developing this concept. The wise person learns to have this vision, this darshana, that sees the Lord everywhere, through, regardless of any and all circumstance. It's a nice picture to see the Lord regardless of any and all circumstance, Wow, And if you see the Lord, your heart is full of love and devotion. Okay. The moment the jiva loses sight of Samadarshana, the oneness of the Lord behind everything, and then the Prakriti world is going to frighten the jiva. It's exactly like in a dream. The moment you forget that it's just a dream, and then you're going to go through a lot of emotions, frightening, terrifying emotions, although you are lying comfortable in your bed. No need to be afraid. The mind has tremendous power. It's unbelievable. The mind has the power to create terrible nightmares in which we may feel almost as if we are really dying. Such is the power of the mind. In the same way, the mind has the power to develop this vision. So you don't see the frightening Prakriti world around you, but you develop a new vasana. You train your mind to see things correctly as they are. And then you begin seeing the Lord, the invisible Lord behind the Prakriti world. Because the moment Purusha is lost sight, the Prakriti world becomes a nightmare. And it's pretty much that, huh? Pretty much that. If you don't see God, if you don't have the sensitive to see, quote unquote, God, experience God, and then you're gonna live in total fear and insecurity. You have to see the oneness, the sameness in everything and everyone. Sama Vasishtam, which is very much present, is the very substratum, adhisthanam, the support of Prakrti. Purusha is Satya, Prakriti is Mitya. Without the Satya support, the superimposition of the gunas are not possible. Just as without the screen, the movie cannot exist. So this Ishwara vision. So whether you're aware of the screen or not, screen supports the movie similarly. Samyak, Adhisthana, Vena. It's Ishwaran Pasyam. I don't remember this Pasyam. Please.
I think this is Pasham is like perceiving or realizing, appreciating.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was explaining the next sentence. The wise person perceives the Lord at all times. The place, the vision, rational perception. But don't think that it is something physical. It's very mysterious. Mysterious. It's not something physical. It's not a perception through the five senses and the mind. And that's where the concept of the heart comes into place, because you perceive it in a way that the gross materialistic people cannot understand. Therefore, they believe that we are all crazy. So it's not physically perceiving the Lord through the sense, but it is through the yana kakshu, is it's the sense, yana sense. Kakshu, wisdom.
Chakshu, I think, is eye, so it's the eye of knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, the eyes of wisdom. Yanaka. How you say? I always said kakshu.
Chakshu.
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 Okay.
Or it actually, here it's chaksu. Chaksu.
Yana chaksu. So it's the third eye or the sixth sense or the heart. What is the benefit? He attains the highest goal, which is immortality. It says in that verse. Okay, how he commits suicide. And now Swami is going to explain Shankaracharya's elaboration around two different views. How does a person destroy itself? Because of the self-ignorance, ignorance of the fact that I am Atma. The person identifies with the body, the anatma. It's total self-ignorance makes the person to become a materialistic person, identify with identify with the physical body. And once we identify with the physical body, we identify ourselves as the karta and the bhokta, because it's through the physical body that we act and we reap the fruits of our actions. So it goes together automatically. Body identification means to say karta identification, bhokta identification. And then we are we are caught in the karmic cycle of doing actions to enjoy results, but we suffer the results as well. Therefore, what are my earnings? So we are producing punya papa, as we know. And Swami says it is the same punya papa actions which produce in overall the results, which is of the body we receive in the following birth. So how how we are responsible for the next body? This is a very good point here, because we say that the jiva does not know how to create anything, but yet the jiva is responsible for the next body. But how so? The jiva has no power to create a body, but he has a tremendous power to create mental impressions, vasanas. Yeah. It is vasanas, all of them, vasanas punya, vasanas papa, or tendencies which are by nature more tamasic rajasic, which means to say tendencies that are conducive to papakam. And there was punya, more sattvic, more dharmic actions. So we produce our next body. We are totally responsible for the body we get. How so? Because it's our punya papa that is going to produce, to bring about our bodies. We can never complain of Shraddha. But this is not fair. The little baby was born with a defect or this and that. So the jiva somehow is going to get what it deserves. And I haven't seen another philosophy, religious spiritual philosophy, that makes more sense than our tradition. So we are responsible for the creation of the body. I do it by my actions, and the result is a new body. In the next janma, I will get a new body. Who is responsible? It's not my dad and my mama. Dad and mama was created by me as well. Was conditioned by my punya papa. I need a very bad parents, okay? There we go. So it's the fault of my mother and my father. No, it's I built that through my punya pop. Um, I used to blame my mother for so long, so long, so long in my life. And then when I was living in Pune, in India, with my first guru, became clear to me that I was responsible for that. You know, I deserve to have that kind of situation, circumstance. It did serve a purpose to learn something. Therefore, I should definitely stop blaming and, and make my mother guilt. And then I stopped doing that kind of shit, you know. We create the physical body. When the body perishes, the cause of the sick body is also punya papa, is karma. The dogma, no, there's no karma. It's just a physiological problem. Okay. Oh, a genetic is not karma. No, genetic. Everything is with karma. Everything. They may give different reasons. Doctors may say, but according to Shastra, it's all done by karma. It's all paramita. That puts an end to the body. What did put an end to the body? Karma, my punya papa. My actions. It begins with my actions. And then, of course, I have to identify with my actions. Right? I need to remember that. Because for someone no longer identifying with the actions by claiming my actions, my paramana, my punya, my papa, if that mind is gone, it does not mean to say that the person is going to stop acting, putting actions into the field. But the actions, they are not impregnated with the famous mind, mind. Uh, if we claim it to be mine, and then we are caught into karma. No, I can say it's my action, but I'm gonna own only if it is a good result. If it's a good result, I'm gonna own. Oh, that is my punya. Huh? If there is some bad results, and then what we do immediately, we're gonna blame somebody else. You see, people. Uh, Sometimes we get in contact with different teachings and teachers that do not present a complete picture of the entire body of teachings, such as Vedanta. Some people would say, no, no, this makes no sense at all because fundamentally there are no actions, there is no karma, there is no punya, there is no papa, there is nothing. None of these things are real. And you hear that. We hear that right and left. And people get confused. With Satya is the case with there is no free will. From a certain angle, there isn't. But from the standpoint of the jiva, it has a certain degree of choice in regards to its thoughts, attitudes, thoughts, words, and deeds. And then the jiva, for the jiva, there is free will. There is free will. But if you move it a little bit higher from the standpoint of Ishvara and Brahman, there is no free will for the jiva. We need to move through these teachings, understanding the nuance of the teachings so that we don't get confused, you know. So here we are saying something that may be contradictory to Vedanta. I myself, the jiva, I am creating my next life. It's all about my punya, my papa, and so on. Yes, a person under the spell of this avidya, ignorance, is committing, really committing spiritual suicidal. No, but no, it's all Ishvara, and there's nobody. From that perspective, the individual is committing spiritual suicide. From a larger viewpoint, it's all Ishvara. And then from a higher upper the perspective, there is only Brahman. Nothing to be concerned. And then in the end of one lifetime, I lose my body. I live this world. I acquire it, and again that body is again killed. So he says again and again the round, samsara chakra round is such that we go from life into death, into rebirth over and over again. And in every one of these births, as if that body mind, that instrument called the body mind complex is again killed by me. Killed here, the best way to understand this word is wasted by me. You understand? Whether the individual is aware of this, whether he's aware of the potential and the purpose of a human birth, the fact is that consciously or unconsciously, the jiva is wasting numberless opportunities to bring forth one's true divine nature and be free from this tyrannic cycle of samsara chakra. Therefore, we can also say that I, the jiva, I am alone, I am responsible for all my repeated births and deaths being wasted, new lives being wasted. I am responsible. Therefore, I am creating myself and I am destroying myself. And this is from the standpoint of my inferior nature, the body. Therefore, I am self-destructive. I'm killing my inferior nature over and over again from birth to birth. How long does this will continue? How long this will continue? As long as karma continues. Punarapi janama, punarapi marana, punarapi janama, punarapi maranam. I am responsible for the death of my body. Therefore, I am Atmaha. Atmaha means I am a killer. I consume my body. I waste my body with stupid activities, all for the sake of some fleeting moments of sensory pleasures. All of this from the standpoint of I am the body, ignorance. If I take my body to be myself, I'm just a suicidal person. But Shankaracharya gives another meaning as well. From the standpoint of my higher nature, my Atma is Varupa nature. Although my higher nature cannot be affected by anything of this world, no thought, no attitude, no action of the jiva will affect jiva's higher nature, because the higher nature of the jiva is satya, and everything else is mithya. In mithya, nothing mithya can affect anything that is satya, Krishna's existence. Destroy myself, my own higher nature, not the body, but my higher nature. And Shara raised the question: how can a self-ignorant person kill his own higher nature? He is not even aware that he has a higher nature. And furthermore, the Atma, the higher nature of everyone, is indestructible. It does not suffer any possible change. Yeah? The Nirvikara is not subject to change, birth, and destruction. How can an ignorant person kill the Atma? And Shankaracharya explained that as it were, figuratively, it kills the Atma by rejecting the action. If you reject your true nature, as a witnessing conscious existence, you live a life as if you don't have an Atma. Again, it goes back to that point that people sometimes get confused, that my higher nature, the higher nature who is always there with me, is always here with me, and will always be here with me. Something which is already mine, is inherent to my existence all the time. There is no point in searching, seeking for it. Therefore, as Ramesh Bhavsakari used to say, give up the search and just live your life. Because you're the self, you're not the doer, you're not the enjoyer, you don't have free will, because the self has no free will. So you can try that. You can try that, but the fact is that knowing that I have higher nature, I have a limitless nature, I have a nature which is the only source of love and joy and security. You may hear about that, but it does not help unless you realize it and live from that perspective, those visions, So it means if we have a higher nature, but we don't really embrace it, we don't really own it in a proper way, not in a egoic way. If we don't claim it, if we don't take it to be my only nature, my true nature, it's as good as I don't have a higher nature. You have a higher nature, but you are disowning it. If you disown your higher nature, it's as good as not having a higher nature. Although you have a higher nature, you do have. You heard about it, but if you disown it, it's as good as killing it. And then this is the most clarifying example is the person who has a treasure what was hidden, which is hidden before, beside, below the floor of its own house, because it's an old house. It passed from your grandfather to your father to you, and it was there, and that treasure was very valuable. Was there just to be revealed in moments that you would really need that kind of uh, that kind of wealth, you know. And the person lives as very poor, struggling to go through the months and so on, having a huge treasure underneath the floor of his living room. So does this person have a treasure? No, he does not. Yes, he has. But his ignorance in respect to the treasure underneath the floor in his living room, it's equal to not having any treasure. And this is exactly the situation with the Jivas under the spell of ignorance, you know. They are searching for this treasure right and left in the world, you know, trying to accomplish certain goals or gaining material benefits, but not knowing that the treasure is within your own self, within your own heart, is going to make the person to go all over the world outside looking for this treasure that could give the person a sense of richness, a sense of comfort and security. It's exactly the same case. Whenever I have a treasure in my heart, but if I'm ignorant of that treasure, of that richness, I am poor, and I'm completely poor, spiritually as well as physically in the case of that example. Why? Because I'm not enjoying the benefit of the treasure we all have. We see our very intrinsic nature is as though the higher nature is absent. Yes, it's as simple as that. The higher nature is present, but it is absent because we don't have the vision which allows us to tap into that treasure. Therefore, I cannot derive the benefit from my higher nature due to sheer ignorance. So, in that sense, Shankaracharya says, due to our self-ignorance, we kill, we destroy our higher nature by neglecting it, by rejecting it, by not having any idea that the treasure is missing. So the same way the self, the treasure we see all of us, nature, art, is there. But since we cannot derive any benefit from it, it is as if destroyed. Therefore, a self-ignorant person has destroyed or killed his or her own higher nature because he or she does not enjoy the benefit of Purnatma. Therefore, from the standpoint of our higher nature, we can commit suicidal as well, suicide. We can destroy the nature ourselves by neglecting or rejecting. Every Jnani destroy himself from the standpoint of the body, and every Jnani destroy himself from the standpoint of Atma. Also, that just to bring it again in perspective, because this is a very nice teaching. So Anyani is destroying its physical body by misusing it, okay, living, without getting the understanding of the Lord Ishvara, its laws, its rules, and the purpose of every birth, which is spiritual development and so on. So the Jnani destroys another body, and then another body, running for sensory pleasures. And then it's consuming many bodies. Consuming many bodies is a good vision as well. How many bodies have you consumed so far? Because some people say, "Oh no, I am a very old soul." You probably heard about that. Huh? I'm a very old soul. What do you mean? Oh, I had already thousands of births. Wow. And you have killed 1,000 bodies so far. You have destroyed and wasted. So it's not a good thing just to be bragging that you are old soul, much on the contrary. You know? So the Anyani is going to consume every body, destroy it, crash it, grind it, misusing it, running after sense pleasures. So therefore, Anyani is a suicide. It is a suicidal.
It's suicidal.
Suicidal. Anyani is committing suicide. Anyani is a suicidal. And every Anyani is self-destroying, destroyer. And the Jnani would be defined in opposition to that. It does not self-destroy itself. It does not waste another birth. It does not neglect or reject its higher nature. It's all about that. It's somehow developing a certain purification, purity that allows you to start moving, so to speak, of course, in the direction of your higher nature so that you can have your ahankara consumed by your higher nature. Therefore, Krishna says, a young does not destroy. He's not a self-destroyer. Unlike an Anyani, Anyani does not destroy either by the standpoint of the body as from the standpoint of the Supreme Self. He has come to understand and own its immortal self. And that is said in the last part of this verse. It means immortality. Paragati means immortality. That's nice. Verse 30. He who sees all actions as being done by Prakrti alone by all means, they likewise cease the self to be actionless. Ah, actually, that must be the this passage is a little bit strange. Where I find some mistakes in this transcription.
Yeah. Up above, when they do the word for word translation, it is actionless.
Yeah.
They just typed it incorrectly.
Yeah. Here we see all action that's being done by Prakriti, only by Prakriti. Our Prakriti nature is doing all the actions. By all means, you see that all actions, all karmas are being produced by our Prakriti nature. And likewise, this person sees the self to be actionless. So this person is having the right vision, right seeing. This person, only this kind of person is seeing things properly. Uh, so the third benefit of knowledge is given here. We have seen two. First one is samadashana. The second one is amrutatman, prakriti, which is going beyond only your immortal nature. The third one is being presented in this verse is realizing your actionless nature most probably. Discovering the fact that I am free from actions. I am a karta. If I am a karta, I am a bhokta. Discovering the fact that the I is a karta. The ahamkara is a karta. But the true nature of the ahamkara is actionless, a karta. The true self within every one of us does not do any action. And this is a very important thing because Kartritva alone is the cause of all the problems. Oh, this is so beautiful. Nicely put. Uh, I'm not the doer of any action. So the sense of being the doer is the cause of karma, the problems. Because as we know, we honor up our action, the actions as our own actions. And then we are trapped. We are trapped with the sense of doership and enjoyership. And since our actions coming from our inferior nature will produce results, I mean, if we own our Prakriti actions, we're gonna own our Prakriti results. And then it's ahamkara mamakara. My actions, my results. And then the individual is trapped in this will of causality, actions and its results, and feeling guilt. I'm not getting a good result, it means to say, I'm not doing good action, there is something bad about me, and so on and so forth. When you begin losing this sense of being the doer, you start being free from the sense of pride and shame regards to the results. Because if we are tied to actions as the doer, we cannot avoid pride and shame. And pride and shame are both equally terrible. You know, and why I say it's terrible is because none of these is really in my hands. The results is part of this Schwager system. It's a much larger picture of equation. An equation that I cannot control due to its complexity. Therefore, I'm going to live a very strange kind of life, trying to get the results that that I wish, that desire, and getting frustrated by not getting it. And then I'm going to develop more and more frustration in a sense of failure. I shared with you guys more than once, most probably, I'm saying this because I'm here with my son. I was still running the restaurant in Olympia, Washington. I had a fight with him. The restaurant was open. And then it was a bad, ugly scene. And people, some guests were in the restaurant. They witnessed the show. And the people in the kitchen as well, you know. And I would have felt very, very uh, ashamed. Uh, and for my surprise, I was standing there and I remained standing there, not feeling any shame, you know. And I couldn't understand because I did not have the teachings of the doctor, you know. But it was a strange sensation. It was the sense of doership that it was going, and it has left a lot in that situation, which is a cool situation because to be free from the sense of shame is wonderful, as well as freedom from the sense of pride. Okay, so we have made it. Thank you for your patience. So we meet again this coming Monday.
Yeah, Orlando, I had a thought I wanted to run by you. It seems to me that ignorance is really an innocent condition. I mean, everybody is born that way. And this this verse 29 is part of the Mahabharata, so it's like in a different time, in a different culture, where perhaps this understanding of a higher nature was more universally known. But in the West, most other cultures, the the spiritual path is more a Dharma Shastra than a Yana Shastra, you know. And so I think um, I like your word wasting more than killing, because killing has a sense of, um, I don't know, more volition, more, but I think people are pretty much, they have no idea, you know. And I wonder myself, you know, born in New York City, you know, how on earth did I get to stumble across this? Because the knowledge is just not there in my society. So it seems to me that, I don't know, the killing or just I understand that you destroy your opportunity. And that's why I like your idea about wasting so much more than killing. But what do you think about that?
Well, it is as long as the individual is identified as a doer and a sufferer slash enjoyer, as long as he's under the spell of ignorance, he's going to get the birth that he deserves. And it's not going to be a wonderful birth in a very religious, spiritual culture, such it used to be in India in a certain period of time, you know. In India, it's essentially the best place to grow spiritually somehow. And it's all fundamental, it's all karma. So, but I understand what you say when I'm here with my son. I see the beauty and I see the ignorance side by side, you know. I see the how ingenuous, how ingenuous and how innocent somehow, you know, and still chasing things of this world as if it could uh, really fulfill you. Maybe I'm aware that nothing of this world is going to satisfy him. Of course, I don't say anything. I support him in anything he wants to do. But I see the beauty as well, side by side with one's ignorance, you know. Uh, everybody has a certain beauty within its human nature as well. Yeah. But the point of these teachings is not that the Jiva is very bad because he's killing, blah, blah, blah. It's a dramatic angle to it, you know, it's strong. But it's just for remind people that we cannot blame neither God, nor others, no circumstance, no government, or nothing, because we have got the birth we deserve through our punya papa acquisition, and then uh, and then we have to live through it. It is a miracle how we, in spite of so much difficulties, challenges, and sufferings, how we came to these teachings in regards to our supreme nature, superior nature, and so on. And others did not, like my brother, there in Rio de Janeiro, have no clue about these things. And and there is no point in trying to tell what anything. Everybody has to go its own parameter.
It is a miracle.
It's a miracle. But it's a mystery, but it's not really a mystery because it's our punya papa is a meritocratic structure, you know. For people who have a strong inclination towards socialism and communism, you should understand that this media order is not completely like that. You know, a dynamic society should offer equal opportunities for all, but depend on the punya papa of each person. Some people are going to make use of those equal opportunities, and some other are going to sit in their tamaguna. And there is no way you can tell that, oh, it's unfair. No, people get what they deserve fundamentally. Okie dokie. We meet again this coming Friday. Friday, no Monday. Oh, Purnamada. Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamudaya Purnamevashishate Om Shanti 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 Om Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next Monday.